Good morning, world. It's a beautiful sunny morning and the perfect weather to start a big weekend. For the fourth and final weekend of the season, we're off to London. We're going to be spending today and tomorrow the entire weekend down there. We're going to take in a football match, a bit of the London Marathon as it's London Marathon weekend, and visit some other places too. So join me for all the fun because it's going to be a great weekend. Now it's 7 o'clock in the morning, it's early. I'm just about to get in my car and drive to the station and get my train down, so let's go. But you will enjoy it. I certainly will enjoy it. Well, we've now made it to Runcorn, which is where we usually go from on our London trips, especially when travelling on our own. And today is no exception. So there's my car in the foreground and Runcorn station in the back. We've got 20 minutes to catch our train and get our ticket, so let's go. It's 8 o'clock and our train is coming in a few minutes' time. So next time I film, I will be on board. Yeah, no, that's right. George, should I have your... Now, the time is 10:30 and we've bought an underground ticket. It's a tube station and we're heading to North London first. Well, here we are at Euston Station on a beautiful morning in the capital. It's 10:30, so we're now going to head to it, and we're taking the tube to... Well, here we are at Euston on a beautiful morning in the capital, and it is 10:30. Euston Station on a beautiful morning in the capital. Now, our first port of call is North London first. Why, you ask? You will find out later. And we've got an underground ticket, so I'm heading there. The tube is our next stop. So let's go. And there's your answer. Arsenal. As one of the biggest clubs in the English Premier League.
Piccadilly line. The next train to Colfosters will arrive in 2 minutes. Next station, Finsbury Park.
As I was saying, as one of the biggest teams in England, I had to visit their home ground at least once, didn't I? And today's the day. It's an interesting structure here at this station because, as you can see, they've got this barrier which is used only on match days, basically to segregate the Arsenal fans and the away fans from football supporters. In other words, people going to the game are one side of the barrier and the rest are the other. I assume the narrower part of this passageway, the other side of the barrier, is where the non-fans are, as most people using this station are obviously going to be supporters on a match day. So as it goes without saying that it's closed today. Indeed. And the weather continues to be stunning, with nothing but blue skies. And if we just continue to walk around here, we will edge closer to the Emirates. It's just a few 100-yard walk from the tube station to the ground. All them kids you can see up there, it's just around where they are. They're going to turn right and then you'll see it in front of your eyes. And believe it or not, this is actually the 6th and final Premier League stadium in Greater London for me to visit this season. As I show you the modern plush box office here, all part of the regeneration of Arsenal, not only as a club but as a part of London. I'm now walking across one of 2 bridges that lead to the Emirates from the east side, as 2 major railway lines hug either side of the ground, and these bridges cross over one of them. So to the right you've got the Emirates Museum, and to the left, stunning views of this ultra modern stadium. And I'm here at the northeast corner of the ground, and the entire stadium is engraved with pictures of Arsenal FC legends. A bit like them, that bunch over there, as another train passes. That foreign tourist there, admiring Arsenal stadium but holding a Chelsea FC bag. Well, there's no rules on supporting more than one team these days, are there? Certainly not. Yeah, a long and proud history Arsenal FC have, and a very decorated one too, as I view the memorial wall, the North Bank Terrace, with various messages of support and well wishes. Very good. A statue here of one of Arsenal FC's legends, and although it doesn't say who, it looks like Tony Adams, so that's who I'm going to assume it is. Wait a minute, no, I don't have to assume. It actually says down here, and I wasn't wrong. Yeah, there he is. Not Ni Ada, but Tony Adams, as his legs are blocking it out, the name, because of the shadows of the sunlight. And there's a train on the Great Eastern Main Line into King's Cross, heading towards King's Cross there. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk anti-clockwise around the stadium. From the northwest corner, many of the legends tower over me, arm in arm. Yeah, on the subject of those Oriental fans I filmed a few minutes ago, an interesting combination: Chelsea bag and enjoying the Emirates. But I've encountered stranger ones. A couple of years ago I was at, I think it was at Earl's Court tube station, and there was a guy with a Chelsea FC bag and a Blackpool, orange tangerine Blackpool shirt. I think it was the year they were in the Premier League actually, but Chelsea bag, Blackpool shirt. What an interesting combination. That guy was also from the Far East, believe it or not. But yes, I embrace the notion of supporting 2 teams, though I do believe you've got to support one the most. And this is a view from the southwest corner, and over there goes off into the suburbs of North and Northwest London. And here's a train on the East Coast Main Line, and that's one of the intercities as well. And that building is actually part of London's Metropolitan University. And there's some big building developments coming up here, and a proud fan posing for a picture. And there is the Emirates Stadium, with the insignia of the airline that sponsored the club. And the Emirates continues to bask in beautiful spring sunshine. And as far as the people of the Middle East are concerned, this is pretty ordinary weather for them, although it is a bit warmer there, admittedly. Well, there's certainly no mistaking who this fella is. He certainly had a lot of vavavoom in his Arsenal career. It is the one and only Thierry Henry. I like this as well. The Spirit of Highbury mural, showing different squads over the space of a century gradually merged into one. You can see it becomes more and more colourful as we move towards the present age. And there's the Robina kits of that farewell season. As I said before, there's a lot of development going on at the south side of the ground, and I would guess it's probably hotels and hospitality connected with the club. High cranes up there against the crystal blue sky. Well, this is a map of the complex, and as you can see by that little red circle, we are now towards the southeast corner, and after we've seen it, we're going to just leave via the Southern Bridge and head back towards Arsenal Tube Station. Okay? Well, you'd have to be 100 years old to remember this guy. Herbert Chapman, Arsenal manager from 1925 to 1934, in what was a very successful period for the club. And there it is, Hapman, as it says there. So cheers from Arsenal FC's home ground on a beautiful sunny day in North London. Now it's 12 o'clock and I've got 3 hours to make my way from one Premier League team to another, as I'm off to the East End for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Okay, so we're going to make a move now. Bye, Emirates. So I'm now making my way across the South Bridge, and I've not really discussed much in the way of Premier League matches today, have I? But there are 7 kickoffs, all simultaneous at 3 o'clock. 3 of which come from the great city of London. 2 in West London at Fulham and QPR, and 1 in East London at West Ham, which I will be at. No lunchtime kick-off, all evening matches in the Premier League. Just the 3 o'clocks to concentrate on, today at least. What a stunning view. The letters of Arsenal and the stadium in the background, with not a cloud in the sky. A brilliant, brilliant shot. And a fitting note to end my visit today. So as we make our way from the only English football club not named after a geographical location, we make it to Arsenal Station. I'm now going to cross town and I will see you in the East End in an hour or 2. Okay? It's 12:15, I'll see you in a couple of hours. And this is the main south entrance to the British Museum near Holborn. Well, I thought, as I've got a bit of time, I might as well come off at Holborn Station where I was changing trains and have a look. I've just been inside. In terms of decency and also the amount of tourists there, it's not really appropriate to film in there. But that's what it looks like from outside. For us anyway, we're on to the game. We've got an hour and a half to get there. As I said earlier, there are 7 Premier League kickoffs this afternoon. So many that I can't even memorise all of them off the top of my head. But as the game goes on at 3 o'clock, I will hear updates from other matches and I'll give you the full report this evening. So let's get our train now.
Stairs as quickly as you can. Turn right at the top of the stairs. There's a wide door. Continue straight through with paper tickets. Oyster cards. There is an oyster reader on either side. Just remember to touch out. Walking along the platform, please continue to stay away from the train and behind. behind yellow light bulbs.
And there it is. And there is a famous hero statue. Bobby Moore there with the World Cup on top of 3 other players, fellow Hammer legends, Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters. What a sight. Oh, we're heading in the ground now. 15 minutes till kick off. And today we're in the upper west stand, which is this stand here, the higher bit. Somewhere up there. Oasis rock and roll star. What a great song. And several hours later, and I've now arrived in my hotel room, the one that I booked a few weeks ago. It's dark outside, but it's a beautiful night as we come to the end of day one of our 2-day London weekend extravaganza. And a brilliant, brilliant day for all concerned at West Ham United. Not only was it a crisp, clear, sunny day, beautiful weather, but West Ham United 2-0 winners, a goal in each half, solid performance, clean sheet, 3 points, brilliant. That should just about guarantee the Hammers' safety. A very good day for everyone concerned at the club. Wigan, though, are in further trouble, and they deserved at least a draw out of the game. They dominated large parts of the match, but just like at Man City in midweek when they lost 1-0, just a distinct lack of quality on their part, I'm afraid, and they are fighting for their lives dearly with about 5 matches left. But the Happy Hammers are on 42 points, and that absolutely guarantees safety. They've never really been in any serious trouble all season, but this guarantees it. By the way, our hotel is near Heathrow Airport. It's the Travelodge Heathrow Central, to be precise. And we've got a great room with some cracking views of the airport behind me. You can't see much at the moment, especially as it's 10 o'clock and the flights are pretty much finished. But we'll get to see loads of aircraft tomorrow morning before we check out. So that's interesting. Quite interesting in reference to QI, which is on in the background on the TV. That's what I'm watching. And just before I crash into bed for the night, I will now go over the other scores. A very interesting day in the Premier League. There were 7 matches, all at 3 o'clock. A relatively low scoring Premier League, I have to say, with just 11 goals in 7 matches. Only 1 0-0 draw, but no team managed to score more than 2. In fact, only 3 teams, including the Hammers, scored twice, and only 2 teams, West Ham and one other, won by 2 goals. Firstly, the bottom 2, it's clear cut that Reading and QPR are on the way out of the Premier League, and today's results epitomise that. Norwich, it was 0-0 at half time between Norwich and Reading, but the Canaries got that crucial win by 2 goals to 1. Just about condemned Reading to relegation, and it nearly guarantees Norwich safety. And Stoke, so poor away from home. They've been on shocking form, but they came out on top in the battle of 2 hapless teams. A 2-0 win away at QPR, 1 goal either side of half time. And QPR are dead and buried now. And in the other games, West Brom 1, Newcastle 1. Newcastle were ahead at half time of the Hawthorns, but it finishes 1-1. And Newcastle not safe yet. They've still got some work to do. They do certainly still have some stuff to do. Swansea, Southampton, a forgettable 0-0 draw between 2 teams that are in mid-table safety in my eyes. Southampton are now on the magic 40 points, they can relax. Also in West London, it finished Fulham 0, Arsenal 1, a crucial 3 points for the Gunners in their battle for top 4. Fulham are pretty much safe, they're on the 39-40 point mark, I think, aren't they there? But Arsenal get those 3 points, and they're in third now, 2 above Chelsea, and I think they're 4 above Tottenham, more importantly for their fans. So both West London sides at home, they lost at home and didn't score, but West Ham and the East End, 2-0 winners, 3 points in a clean sheet. And I think that's all the games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's another one I forgot. And probably, certainly 5 Live considered the game of the day because it was the one game that was actually on the commentary at 3 o'clock. Sunderland 1, Everton 0. The biggest bogey team ever for Sunderland. It's the first victory in over a decade in the league, home or away to Everton. They repeatedly lose to Everton home and away, with a few draws in between. They never seem to beat them. But Paul Di Canio has masterminded 2 amazing results, and what a decision it's proven to bring him in. Their first win since the late 90s at St James's Park last weekend, and their first win in a similar period, home or away to Everton. A first half goal did it. As solid as Sunderland are on their way to safety. And Everton's lingering hopes of Champions League football dealt a big blow. So that's the state of play in the Premier League. I haven't got internet with me at the moment. I will show you the internet. Tomorrow morning I will put a little coin, a £1 coin or something into the internet down in the reception, and I will show you what the Premier League table looks like. And there's 2 big games tomorrow. And 4 of the big 6 in the Premier League lock horns. Tottenham, Man City in North London before Liverpool, Chelsea at Anfield on Merseyside after that. So a big day tomorrow. I'll talk to you more about what we're going to listen to and watch and where we're going to be. Thank you for now. Good night. Well, today is Sunday the 21st of April and it's marathon day for our wonderful capital city. And part of today's visit from me to London will incorporate seeing a few of the runners go past. I mean, with so many spectators, we're going to be going to one of the few quieter areas, at least that's what I've been told by the group of meeting there. So find out where I am later on. It's 9 AM and the elite women are the first ones off, and then a host of others, including the Paralympians, the elite men and the masses, will begin within the next hour. But I'm just going to see the women start now, and then in a few minutes after that I'm going to leave here and check out, because I've got 2 hours to get into central London. So there are all the women, the ladies, they're ready for action. And they're going to be starting off any time now. They're just introducing all the individual participants. It's going to be interesting to see how they all do.
See them start, so they're only applauding themselves, really. But
yeah, it's a good point that there aren't many people there that have arrived yet to see them start off.
A little bit of an issue for them when this elite field gets going. They have no company, really. They'll have their own.
So any second, good luck, see you at the finish. With all the millions of people around the mall, I won't be there. So, as well as London Marathon, there's football today as well, to commentate, to listen to and to report to you. So of course football plays a big part in today, it's not just about the marathon. As far as the Premier League table is concerned, I'm just going to show you when I get home tonight the full table for the weekend. Well, 9 out of 10. Minus Man United Aston Villa, which is the Monday night game tomorrow. And they're off! And the London Marathon 2013, the 33rd London Marathon, is underway. So now I'm going to get ready to go, and good luck to those women. In a little bit over 2 hours' time, they'll be coming up the mall to rapturous applause, and then 30,000-40,000 more or so will be later on. So from South East London and Greenwich, their epic, titanic run begins. And it's a room with a beautiful view, although there are a few trees in the way. However, if we pan the camera around here, you might be able to make out 1 or 2 British Airways plane tails and one of their hangar buildings. Let's zoom in. There we are. You can see what a British Airways plane tail in the middle, and all those buildings behind it are part of the Heathrow complex. We're over a mile east of the airport, even though it's called the Heathrow Central Travel Lodge. Clearly the most central location they could have got. And today is also the 87th birthday of Her Majesty the Queen. So happy birthday to you. Although she officially celebrates her birthday in June, but her actual anatomical birthday is today, on the same day as the London Marathon, appropriately enough. Which actually, thinking about it, goes past the front yard near the end of it. But in terms of my London visits this season, it is the 4th of 4 visits with football weekends, and why not? It is the great city of London, and typically at least 5 teams that compete in each year's Premier League are from Greater London, and I intend to visit about the same number of times next year too. But 2 one-day visits and 2 weekend visits this year, I can't argue with that, because let's face it, it's great. You know, near Heathrow, when you can see wide-body planes come in, that's a US Airways flight from the United States. A busy old morning here near Heathrow. And that noise you can hear, that is the Piccadilly line, which is just behind that fence to the right, that wall. And that's what we'll be getting on from Hatton Cross in a minute. Here in West London, in the shadow of Heathrow Airport, hence the many arrivals you're going to see over West London from left to right as I look. And of course they depart out of Berkshire to the west. They were actually facing the other direction, the flights, the arrival and departures yesterday, but just overnight the wind directions changed obviously as they switched around. British Airways 777. Another flight Another long haul arrival, probably from the United States. There it goes. And here comes a British Airways Boeing 747. Oh, sorry, a Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747. My bad. And here is a Piccadilly line train passing me now. In this small stretch, it's just about to plunder underground into Hatton Cross. Into Hatton Cross station. This train is airport bound. And then the other way it plunders into another tunnel into Hounslow West towards the city. And there it goes. Howdy! American Airlines there, flying into London. Oh, beautiful horses grazing in the field. And then that monster flies over them. That's Heathrow for you. Top of the morning, Aer Lingus flying into Heathrow Airport. There it goes. There we go. I was determined to film the plane and cross the road at the same time, and have done it. Delta Airways, another American carrier. Well, we're now at Hatton Cross Tube Station. It's just before 10 AM and we're going to get a ticket and get on the train, so let's go. And one more plane before I get on the train to film. Another American, it's United Airlines. Wow, we've had US Airways, United Airlines, Delta and American. 4 different US carriers.
There's a walk in early on about it, haven't you?
Phil, you look just good at this stage.
It's definitely something
It's up to you, I don't mind, Sam. You can take my place here.
Wow. And then if you just walk 50 yards away from the course, you're in a quiet neighbourhood like this. Yeah, I got there at 20 past 11 I got there, and I spent 2 hours enjoying all the action. And now it's 20 past 1. And despite all the action, all the fun at the course, there is an afternoon of Premier League football, let's not forget. And Man City are at Tottenham this afternoon. A big game between two of the big six at White Hart Lane, kicking off in less than 10 minutes' time. So I'm going to listen to the Tottenham anthem and the Premier League music, and then the kick-off on the radio begins soon. Well, Talksport have got this commentary this afternoon, and I'm going to be listening to the whole of the match, which is just about to kick off. A massive match this, especially for Tottenham, all the pressure on them. In my opinion, they have to win this match to stand any chance of top four, with Arsenal, Chelsea, the London rivals, stretching further away for them in them Champions League places. So what an important game this is. Man City will not finish below second, but they will not finish first either. And the game is just about to kick off as the Tottenham anthem rings round once again. And what beautiful, beautiful weather. It's been perfect all weekend and continues to be today. So let's get it on, and I'll talk more in a bit. There's Shadwell Station on the Overground line, which is how I got here, and there's a Docklands Light Railway train, which is on a different line to this station. Yeah, so just east of London, near the city, is where we watched the match, the marathon, should I say. Yeah, one of the quieter stretches of an otherwise packed route with fans lining both sides of the street everywhere. It's a good location because where the two different stretches basically of the London Marathon are on the same road. So one side of the road is at the 13 mile mark, about halfway through, and they run east towards Canary Wharf and back, and then the other side of the road, which is the nearest side to us, is at around 22 miles towards the end of the course. So we could see runners going in both directions, in other words. Well, we're underway a few minutes into the match, and Tottenham have had two chances. They've definitely started the better in this. Here's Man City's first chance. It's a goal! Man City ahead at Tottenham inside 4 minutes. Wow. Edin Dzeko. It happens just as I'm recording. Edin Dzeko, 6 goals in 6 games against Tottenham, just as I'm recording. What timing. Man City ahead at White Hart Lane. Great play from Tevez, and Dzeko has the tap in. They got 5 here last season. They got 1 inside 5 minutes this time. And Tottenham's Champions League ambitions are falling in front of their own eyes. What a start though. Well, in the excitement of that goal, I told you the incorrect scorer. It was Samir Nasri, not Dzeko, and it's Nasri that has 6 and 6 against Spurs, presumably. And as a former Gunner, they're going to be even more angry about that, that's for sure. But yeah, 7 minutes gone, City lead as a train goes overhead. I should also say that I haven't got a planned route at all. I'm just going to be walking through central London, choosing wherever I please, as long as I'm above ground for the whole match, so I don't lose any reception. I'll probably turn left here and head towards the city. So we will turn left and head towards the city, which is, as you can see, is about a mile or so down here, as Yaya Toure gets a yellow card for a challenge, I think. Well, just looking at the gherkin is giving me an appetite. That building there with a rounded top, also known as 30 St Mariacs, which is its actual address. It's all calmed down at White Hart Lane, with Man City still leading after, what, 15 minutes have gone, I think, just over 15 minutes. Going under the Docklands Light Railway Bridge here, again. In fact, if you can see the red from those windows, that's a reflection of one of their trains that's just passing over me. Goalless after just under 20 minutes. Oh, sorry, no, 1-0 to City after just under 20 minutes. But the weather stays beautiful. By the way, I was looking out for as many different football tops as possible. Although a small minority, there were a few people that were running with their beloved team's tops. And in terms of Premier League sides, I saw quite a few. Norwich, Man City, Man United, Southampton, and only one London club, and I'm pleased to say from my perspective it was the mighty West Ham United. In fact, 2 people with West Ham shirts. So yes, great to see national representation. And there was a host of teams in the Football League such as Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, amongst others, and Celtic from Scotland. Because London brings everyone together, the whole country. That's what you've got to love about this place. Joe Hart forced into action, nearly 1-1, and a Spurs player 1-1 with the Man City stopper couldn't equalise. And Mancini's men remain 1 goal up here, just 7 or 8 miles north of here at White Hart Lane. And on the subject of football shirts seen by runners in the marathon, 2 of them, the guy with the Man City away shirt and that man with the West Ham shirt and a cap, I managed to actually catch on my phone, just to show you a representation of 2 proud Premier League sides, one of which is still the defending champions. Well, we're just going to cross the road and follow the crowds for the time being. Yeah, you can see no one's allowed left. There's a marathon still taking place there. Actually, I've changed my mind. I thought I would show you this, a beautiful shot of the Tower of London with London's new tallest skyscraper, the Shard, in the background. And in the foreground you can see more runners coming through and admiring crowds. What a day it's been, what a weekend it's been here in London. Well, I'm walking right alongside the action here, around the 22.5 mile mark this is. Half an hour gone, City still won her, but it was nearly 2-0. And there's a gunner with a away Arsenal shirt on his phone. Let's go this way. But yeah, Man City comfortable at the moment. Yeah, you see some of the runners just to the left. Well, obviously it's not a possibility today, but well, it's not a possibility today, but at some point next season when I'm down here, I will try and show you the Tower of London, or at least from outside, and also walk across Tower Bridge. But for now, with 10 minutes until half time, I'm thinking of getting on the tube and catching a train somewhere across town. Beautiful building there. Man City are comfortable, if I'm being honest with you. Not being troubled much at the moment and in control of this match. But who cares about that, because the party atmosphere continues down here. Well, actually, I care about both. Ah, London. Great music, great entertainment, great times. What an afternoon, what a weekend. This has been something special. Half time at White Hart Lane and it is Spurs 0, Man City 1. But Loris, the Tottenham goalkeeper, kept his side in the game with 2 great saves at the end of it. Join me in a bit for the second half. Wow, what a view. As the runners keep on running all day long. That is the, well, we just passed the 23 mile mark here, so they've got 3 miles to go. A couple of Chelsea FC fans there. And then we cross the other side of the bridge. Even more wonderful views of the marathon scene to be had. And the runners keep on running. Well, we've enjoyed watching more of the marathon during half-time at the Lane, but the second half is just about to get underway with the players coming out the tunnel, and I'm just going to continue walking along the north bank of the Thames, along the marathon route for the rest of the game. That's good enough for me. So during the whole match, would have just walked along the north side of the Thames through the city area, through the city of London, basically. That's what I'm going to do. I'm anticipating that we may get a good view of the Thames through here. Whatever business occupies this building, it won't be open today. Wow, look at that. London's tallest skyscraper in front of our very eyes, the Shard. Yeah, the second half has kicked off, by the way. But let's just enjoy wonderful views. Hello, River Thames. And as well as the Thames, we've also got a stunning view of Tower Bridge that way. Beautiful Tower Bridge on a sunny day. And then let's swing the camera around towards the west. Towards the west here. There you are. A few minutes gone and it's still 1-0 to City in this match. Although it's of no relevance whatsoever to the Premier League, let me just offer my congratulations to Celtic that have just today wrapped up another SPL title by beating Inverness Caledonian Thistle. So they are the champions in the Scottish Premier League. Well, we're just past the hour mark at White Hart Lane and Man City are still holding strong and the score remains 1-0 to the champions. And there's still a few weeks left that we can call them that. That's a Boeing 747-400, one of many landing into Heathrow this afternoon. But we're in central London. There you are. And the action just continues all day long. Halfway through the second half now, a frustration from the Spurs fans as they boo the referee after he declines what they think is a blatant penalty they should have had. Still no change in the score. And by the way, I have not mentioned it already, the second 3 o'clock kickoff, the second live game this afternoon, which is a 4 o'clock kickoff, is from Anfield, where Liverpool play Chelsea. Liverpool know they can't really get in the top 4. They're playing for pride to try and finish above the blue half of the city, which they still can after they lost to Sunderland yesterday. For Chelsea, it's important in their quest for Champions League football next season. So a very, very interesting match in prospect there. It really is fascinating. It's been a brilliant weekend anyway, but it's been a great weekend in football terms. And with just over 20 minutes to go, it's going to be fascinating to see how this finishes. Tottenham have picked it up, and they do look like they might pose an equaliser threat. If you didn't know, the bridge that we've just walked under is London Bridge. And let's just hope it doesn't fall down whilst I'm underneath it. Let me just tell you, there's been a second goal at White Hart Lane with about 15 minutes left. And finally, Tottenham are on level terms, and Clint Dempsey gets the goal. Interesting passage here under the railway out of Cannon Street, and I can smell chlorine. There's a swimming pool and leisure centre nearby, I think. But Tottenham have equalised, that is confirmed. And they've been much better in the last 20 minutes, and they've got their rewards. So can they kick on? We will see. But the American draws Tottenham level in North London as we continue our walk along the Thames North Bank. Great day for a beer. Well, that equaliser certainly has lifted the home fans. With about 12, 13, maybe 14 minutes left. Can Tottenham complete the turnaround? Unbelievable. 2 goals in 6 minutes, and this game has been turned on its head. He's not scored in 12, but he has now. Jermaine Defoe, the right man at the right place at the right time. As I show you St Paul's Cathedral. It is Tottenham 2, Man City 1, and the Spurs fans are singing once again. What a moment. And it was a wonderful goal too. Spurs 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go. Can they get the 3 points now? Well, over an hour has passed since I last spoke to you. I'm down by Vauxhall Bridge, which is a couple of miles away from where I was earlier. Now, I last spoke to you with about 10 minutes left in the Spurs-Man City game as I was approaching St Paul's Cathedral. Well, let me just tell you this. That was not the last goal in the match. A third goal and a third Tottenham goal ensured a famous win over Man City for Spurs, which very much boosts their top 4 chances, and they're still alive. And I think Gareth Bale was the one with the third goal. It was Defoe got the second. So there you go. What a moment that was. I spent the last 10 minutes just walking through the city trying to find a tube station, and also the battery on my phone was getting low, so I switched it off. But there was a 4th goal at the end, and that's how it finished there. Also, let me just tell you. After that, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, I took the train from Temple to Victoria along the District line and walked down towards Vauxhall Bridge here by the north bank of the River Thames. And since 4 o'clock I've been listening to the Liverpool-Chelsea game on 5 Live, with TalkSport doing the Tottenham-Man City game. It is Liverpool 0, Chelsea 1 at half-time. A header from a corner at the Kop end by Oscar. And halfway through the half, on what has been an emotional day so far, with the remembrance of Hillsborough and Rafa Benitez's return to Anfield. So I'm going to listen to the second half, switch my phone off because there's virtually no battery. I did feature the first of the 2 games today, to be fair, and then I'll give you a report later on tonight, okay? But from London, an amazing weekend. Goodbye. Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham all won yesterday and today, and Chelsea could make it 4 wins out of 4 for the big 4 from the capital if they can hold on to this. What a weekend it's been for London in every respect: the weather, the marathon and the football teams. Goodbye for now, London. And so ends another great visit to London. We are now back in Runcorn, sitting in our car before our journey home. And can I just say, it turned out to be a very interesting game, the Liverpool-Chelsea match, which I told you was 1-0 to the Blues at half-time. Well, Liverpool came out guns blazing in the second half, with Sturridge, the former Chelsea player, being brought on, making all the difference. They nearly scored in the first minute of the second half. They had another chance, but within 10 minutes they had got their equaliser, with Sturridge putting one against his former club. However, a few minutes later though, Chelsea got their first goal from a header from a corner, And the second goal indirectly came from another corner from Chelsea. They went 2-1 up when they won a penalty, probably because of a handball from a Chelsea corner, and Eden Hazard had the composure to put it away. After that, Liverpool created chances, huffed and puffed, but it looked like Chelsea were going to hold out. And then 6 minutes of stoppage time were put up, and in the sixth and last minute of stoppage time, what happens? Luis Suarez pops up with a goal, a dramatic equaliser that sent Anfield into raptures. Incredible stuff. And it finishes 2-2. So not a great day in for Chelsea, but it was a difficult fixture, so to go there and get a result, they can't be too disheartened by that. With Spurs on 61 through 33 games, Chelsea on 62 through 33 games, and Arsenal I think on 63 through 34 games. What a battle it is for top four. 2 of those 3 London sides will get Champions League football, the other will be left behind. As for Everton, they are about 56, they're a few points behind, they're pretty much out of it in all fairness. Yeah, after that incredible 3-1 win for Tottenham with 3 goals in think 7 second half minutes against Man City. What a day, what a weekend. Now when I get back I'm going to show you the Premier League table and see how it looks. Anyways, what a weekend it's been. Well, I'm finally back, and it's very late into the night now, and all I can say is what a special weekend that was. One of my finest visits to London. The weather, the football, the entire experience was a pleasure, and it's been one of the most special weekends of the season for sure. Absolutely has, and it was worth every penny and every moment. So I'm delighted, I'm so high, I'm so excited, I'm so pleased, and bring on next week. Although I do need a few days to recover from what's been a hectic weekend. You will see the Premier League table in the coming shots on this video, so good night.